Recording in progress.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's not Srimad Bhagavatam class, Chaitanya Charitamrita class. From Adi Lila, chapter 4, and text 170. We're fortunate this morning to have His Grace Vishnugada Prabhu from ISKCON, Philadelphia, to give the class. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhupada.
Chaitanya Charitamrita, yes. So can we sing Padma Karuna?
I will pull it up. Absolutely.
The reason I chant it is because Srila Prabhupada usually chanted that before Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Perhaps not always, but every time I was there, or every time I know.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Now to go
I'll
back
try to
again.
simulate the tune that he used. It's similar to the morning tune, but it's not exactly the morning tune. It's a little different.
Mm,
You, Parikshit Prabhu, you hear it and you can emulate it too, but sometimes people confuse it with the morning tune.
okay. I think we're
And
ready.
it's not a regular it's a two beat there. Parama Karuna Pahu Dvijan Nitai Gaurachandra
Paramakaruna Baudhijana Itai Gaurachanda
Parama Karuna Pahu Dvijan Nitai Gaurachandra
Paramakaruna Baudhijana Itai Gaurachanda
Prabhavatai Shar Shiramani Kevala Ananda Kanda
Sabhavatana Sarashiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda
Bhaja Bhaja Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudita Vishvasha Kori
Bhajo Bhajo Bha Chaitanya Nitai Sudhira Vishwasakori
Vishaya Chariya Se Rashe Majia Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari
Vishaya Charya Sera Se Majia Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari
Dekh Ore Bhai Tribhuvane Nai Emona Doyala Data
देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवने नाय हे मन दयालदाता
Pashupaki Jure Pashana Vidare Shuni Jarguna Gata
पाशुपाकी जुरे पाषाण विदारे सुनि जन रघुन गाथा
Ansar Majia Rohili Podia Shipode Nohilo Asha
संसार मजिया रोहिली पोरिया separe nahilo asha
Apana Koromo Bunjaye Shamana Kahoye Lochandasa
apana karma punjaye shamana kahoe lochana dasa
Parama Karuna Pahu Dvijana Nitai Gaurachandra
parama karuna bahudvijana Nitai Gora Chanda
Parama Karuna Pahu Dvijana Nitai Gaurachandra
Paramakana
Karuna Bahudvijana
Bahudvijana Nitai
Nitai
Gaurachandra
Gaurachandra
Sab Avatar Shad Shiramani Kebala Ananda Kanda
Sarvata
Savavatara
Shiromani
Sarashiromani Kevala
Kevalananda
Ananda
Kanda
Kanda
Sab Avatar Shad Shiramani Kebala Ananda Kanda
Shabhavata
Savavatara Shashiromani
Shiromani
Kevala Ananda
Kevalananda
Kanda
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajak Acharya Ashtottara Sata Shishimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Shami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai
Yay,
Jai
Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai
yay,
Jai
ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai
Jai
yay,
Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai
Jai
yay,
Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai
Jai
yay,
Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai
yay,
Jai
Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai
Jai
yay,
Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai
yay,
Jai
Ganga Mai Ki Jai
yay,
Jai
Yamuna Mai Ki Jai
Jai
yay,
Tulsi Devi Ki Jai
Jai
yay,
Bhakti Devi Ki Jai
yay,
Jai
Shamaveta Bhakta Brinda Ki Jai
Jai
yay.
Gaur Prem Anande
Hari
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 Hari Bol.
Bol
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
All glory to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga Hari Hari Bol. Glories to
Jai versus
God. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Shami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirbishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Ishatarine. You know the meaning of the song? We won't go back to it. Parama Karuna. What does that mean?
Parama
Parama Karuna.
Paramount mercy.
Parama is not mercy. Karuna is mercy.
Karuna's mercy Parama
Yeah, I mean like
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Ah,
Paramakaruna meaning paramount mercy.
is that what?
Paramount
Paramount
mercy.
mercy, he's saying.
Oh, the topmost mercy. Okay,
Mhm.
good. Yes. Pahu Dvijan. Pahu Dvijan. Pahu Dvijan. Anybody?
I know it has to do
Dvijan
with the
means
Dwi has to do with
two brothers.
the two brothers. Nita,
Two Jana is people, two people, but who are those not only people? Pahu is a Bengali kind of word for Prabhu. These two Prabhus,
Oh, okay.
these two Prabhu Lord, these two lords. Pahu Dvijan. Prabhu, Pahu is Prabhu. Pahu Dvijan. Who's that? Nitai Gaurachandra.
Chandra.
Shab. In Bengali, almost all S's are SH's. So Shab of all avatars, Shad. Shad means, the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shruti Sharam. Srimad Bhagavatam is Shruti Sharam. Shruti Sharam means the cream of all the Shrutis, of all the Vedas. So Shad is the cream of the avatars. Shad Shiramoni. you know, there's a Shyamantaka money and Dvija
Mm.
money,
The
money,
jewel.
jewel, yeah, and Shira money. Shira money. What's a Shira money? Shira money.
Crown jewel.
Yes, yes. The Shir is the head. Somebody who's doing yoga, they do Shir Shashan. What's Shir Shashan?
Mm.
Shir
Head
Shashan means
stand,
to stand on your head.
stand on your head.
This is asking for standing on your head. So Shira money is the head, the crest jewel, the crown jewel, the jewel on your head. That's the most important jewel. Shir Shah, the Shah Shira money, the cream and the crest jewel of all avatars. Why? Kevala Ananda Kanda. Because Ananda means bliss. And because the process is completely, entirely, Kevala, is joyfully done. That's the first stanza. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
So even though this is not, as Parikshit Prabhu corrected himself by saying Srimad Bhagavatam class, and changed to Chaitanya Charitamrita class, I still am chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. How's that? How come?
Because
This is
Prabhupada did it, Prabhu?
as far as I checked the Veda base and I heard that, or at least the people who were reciting the verses did it, and Prabhupada went along. There may be times when he chanted other things, but I know the ones that I found that Srila Prabhupada chanted or was being chanted before Chaitanya Charitamrita class, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. But technically, it's not the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 12 cantos spoken by Suta Goswami and compiled by Vyasadeva. But in a larger sense, it is Srimad Bhagavatam because Srimad Bhagavatam is describes and glorifies the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees. And so that is the same as Chaitanya Charitamrita, although we say that this Chaitanya Charitamrita is the postgraduate study. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the graduate study, Bhagavad Gita is the basics. So here we're faced with the postgraduate study, and some of this we don't understand. That's okay. We can hear it. Srila Prabhupada noted even for himself, he would listen to his spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Om Vishnupad, Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami. And sometimes he wouldn't understand, but he would go on hearing because just the sound vibration is purifying. So similarly, we may be in this category today as we recite the Chaitanya Charitamrita, along with some of these are elevated subject matters that aren't generally discussed with the general population. So, with that said, do we have any native Bengali or learned Bengali speakers on the call who might like to recite the Bengali verses?
We have two online, Prabhu,
Oh,
today.
that's great. Would any volunteer?
Prabhu, I can try.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, Prabhu.
Mitra Govinda.
Yes.
यह की कहिए कृष्ण दरिद्र अनुरागा स्वच्छ धावते वस्त्र ऐचे नाही कोनो दागा.
Thank you. Thank you. Then let's look down at the translation. That is called firm attachment to Lord Krishna. It is spotlessly pure, like a clean cloth that has no stain. Purport. The author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita advises everyone to give up all engagements of sense gratification and, like the gopis, dovetail oneself entirely with the will of the Supreme Lord. That is the ultimate instruction of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. We should be prepared to do anything and everything to please the Lord, even at the risk of violating the Vedic principles or ethical laws. That is the standard of love of Godhead. Such activities in pure love of Godhead are as spotless as white linen that has been completely washed. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur warns us in this connection that we should not mistakenly think that the idea of giving up everything implies the renunciation of duties necessary in relation to the body and mind. Even such duties are not sense gratification if they are undertaken in a spirit of service to Krishna. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamai Dadati Shapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shibash Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Before speaking, I would need to ask permission from devotees and blessings, particularly those who are senior by age and or advancement in Krishna consciousness.
Hare Krishna.
So the ultimate instruction of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is encouraging or advising all of us to accept that ultimate instruction in Bhagavad Gita, which is, what would you say that is?
Give it all up and surrender to Krishna. Sarva Dharman Parityaja.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Sarva Dharman. We think of Bhagavad Gita and the Vedic literature in general as treatises explaining dharma, or one's duty in life. And then at the end, Lord Krishna says, no, give up all dharmas. Usually, isn't it true that when you ask, if you ask somebody who has a casual understanding of Bhagavad Gita, what is the conclusion or the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? What do they usually say?
That's kind of hard, but I'll say you're not the body. That's clear from Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Oh, I could comment a little bit from an Indian perspective.
Yes.
Most Indians, they will say they'll quote that, do your karma, do your duty.
Yes.
Karma nevadikar. Yeah.
90%, 95% will say, if you want to, what is the message of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita? Is do your duty or do your dharma, right? That's the message. So, but they miss out that at the end, Lord Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. All those duties, give them up. Parityajya means give up, and Parityajya, all of them, give it up. Give it up. Sarva, all dharmas, give up dharma. And what? Mam ekam sharanam braja, and take shelter of me only. Mam ekam means only. not Shiva, not Brahma, not Durga, not Ganapati. Mam ekam sharanam braja. Ahang twang sarva pape bhyo mokshyashyami ma sucha. I'll protect you. I'll protect you from all sinful reactions. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. In this world, we're all worried. Krishna's assuring us that if we really take shelter of him fully, then we don't need to worry. He'll take care. That's one of the symptoms of surrender. You probably know Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has listed 6 symptoms of surrender. 6 of those, and which is relevant to this verse because that's what we're talking about. So, does anybody know some of those symptoms of surrender? The first 2 kind of are one and then the other. When they printed the first Vaishnav Hare Krishna handbook, they had a lot of the prayers from the in the morning program and things, and this was also included in that book, the 6 symptoms of surrender, along with the 26 qualities of a devotee. So the first one, anybody come up?
Is Prabhu, is it the favorable and unfavorable, Prabhu, is one of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Accept everything favorable to devotional service and reject things not favorable for devotional service. So right away, that might get in the way of other kinds of dharma, because we have a dharma to our country, our family, our occupation, our age range, our gender, so many things. We're expected to perform in a certain way, but if it clashes with engaging in devotional service, then the advice by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and ultimately Lord Krishna is to reject it. Can you give any examples of that? Where ordinary dharma has been rejected for the service of Krishna.
Well, some of us were in religions, different religions, and we gave them up and came to Krishna consciousness and stayed there.
Okay, so then someone might be coming from a Christian background or a Muslim background. So what one didn't give up, one might not have given up the essential part of that, which is service to God, but at the same time, the trappings of beliefs, various beliefs, might have been given up. Yes. Others, in examples, either in your own life or in the examples of great devotees or ordinary devotees.
Can I follow up with what I just said?
Of course. Yeah, certainly.
When we understood that the religions were saying you will go to heaven, the heavenly planet, and we understood here the heavenly planet is still in the material world, and we're not going to last forever there, even though we'll be there a long time, then that was not attractive at all for me. And so I just said, no, if heaven is just one of those situations, it's very different from the spiritual world, then there's no point going to heaven. Therefore, there's no point following the aim of these religions. So
yeah,
that
it's
sealed
temporary.
it. For me, it sealed it.
Temporary place, even though one can live a longer life and it's very nice. One may go to Hawaii on a vacation. It's very heavenly. And there's also planets within this universe that are much more heavenly than Hawaii, and one can stay there for long periods of time. But ultimately, they you can't stay there forever. You also get kicked out. Lord Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita as well. Brahma bhuvala loka punarvartinochuna mamipetu konteya punarjanmana vidyate. From the topmost planet to the lowest, all are places of misery. Yeah. Good point. Good point. And even though there's some idea of a spiritual eternal world, but it's vague and it's mixed up with heaven. Usually often people in varieties of religions, they think, oh, if I do some pious work, then I'll go to heaven. I'll have, sometimes they say they'll get the association of 20 virgins or something like that. Have you ever heard those kind of things? Yeah. In Islam, they have some reward you get for doing certain pious activities. Yeah. But of course, that's all material. I see, yes. A hand up there.
Prabhu, one example I could give is, and I'm not sure how relevant it is, but when we came to Krishna consciousness, when my family came, before that, we used to pray to Shiva, and we had Shiv Lingam on our altar. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, after we understood praying to Krishna satisfies Shiva as well. So we stopped those prayers.
Yes, that dharma, usually in it's not uncommon in families that you make sure you have pictures or representations of a variety of demigods, and so you don't want to discourage or displease any of the demigods. But of course, we respect the demigods, but our worship should be, we understand from Bhagavad Gita, it should be directed exclusively to Krishna. And by serving Krishna, it's not just we say so, but by actually sincerely serving Krishna, the demigods, every living entity will be satisfied. Because he's the root of creation, the root of everything. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Any others? Examples?
Prabhu, we also give up association, but we see that the non-devotee association is unfavorable for Krishna consciousness. So over a period of time, we slowly cut it off and minimize it.
Yeah, yes. So of course many of us are working in various capacities in the material world. Could you clarify a little bit about when you say give up the association?
Prabhu, what I was taught by my god sister is when those of us who are working, we can't avoid that. So we don't take their association, we give them our association. That's
Okay.
what I was taught.
And yes, there's a limited association isn't very intimate, close. Yeah. I think we told the story of the monkey and the crocodile or alligator. Did we tell that story here? You know the story. No?
Can you tell it, please?
Sure. I don't know if it's a crocodile or an alligator, but a similar being. He had his wife and kids, and he was living in a little place in kind of a little island in the river. And every day, of course, he would go out, 7 o'clock in the morning, he'd go rush hour, he'd go into the river, swim around and catch food for his family and bring it back in the evening. And they would, in that way, he maintained his family nicely. So one time when he's swimming along the bank of the river trying to catch food, there he spotted a monkey sitting in a rose apple tree. And somehow they struck up a conversation. And it was quite interesting conversation. They talked about, the values of life and, so many things. And so it was a little bit friendly. And then when the crocodile checked his watch, he saw, oh, it's late and I haven't gotten any food for my family. So the monkey said, don't worry. There's some, I'll pick some of these rose apples for you. And he picked them and he gave them to the crocodile. And the crocodile was happy and brought him back to his family. So anyway, it was quite it became kind of a routine that in the morning, the crocodile would go to the edge of the river, and there the monkey would come and sit in a tree, and they'd have a conversation, and then the monkey would give him some fruits. He would bring him to his family. So after a while, the crocodile's wife became a little curious. How come it's, we have this one, our diet is now rose apples, nothing else, no other things. And so then the crocodile said, well, it's become very easy for me. I just talk with the monkey and he gives me so I don't have to work so hard, and it's pleasant. Yeah, I mean, I like the taste of these rose apples. And she was a little concerned about that, and a little jealous also because her husband was spending so much time with the monkey and not spending time with her. So anyway, a few days later, she started to cry and unhappy in pain, and the crocodile says, "What's happening? What's happening?" She said, I've got this serious illness. I kill a serious illness. Please help me. Please help me. So the crocodile says, what can I do? She said, I know the cure. I know the cure. What is the cure? I have to eat the heart of a monkey. You didn't hear this before? I have to eat the heart of a monkey. So he said, oh, I mean, but he's my friend. No, well, who do you want? Who do you like better, me or him? You got to make a choice here. So I said, okay. So the next morning he went to the same place. He met the monkey, and the monkey was still in the tree. And he tells the monkey, all these days we've been having these nice conversations, but I've never taken you to my house to meet my family. Why don't you come with me for dinner tonight? Well, I'll take you. I'll take you on my back, and that way we can really become friends. So the monkey was he said, but it's across the river. How will I? Yeah, don't worry, I'll swim. I'll swim carefully. You just stay on my back. I won't go. So finally, the monkey agrees, gets on the back of the crocodile, and they take off across the river toward his lair. And then the crocodile says, well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but my wife is ill and she has to eat the heart of a monkey. So I'm going to submerge ourselves underwater, and then I have to kill you for the sake of my wife. So the monkey says, well, why do you need to kill me? She says, well, she says the monkey's heart is the only thing that's going to cure her from her disease. And the monkey says, oh, you should have said so. If you needed I left my heart back on the tree. So if you go back, if you just bring me back there, I can get the heart and we'll be on our way. So the crocodile swims back to the edge and he lets the monkey back on the tree, and the monkey says, sorry, I'm not coming with you anymore. Of course, so the moral of the story is that you might have some association, but you don't give them your heart. You get with the materialist. You don't give the heart to a materialist. We in interactions like that. So that's a good example. Anyway,
Thank you.
that so you probably might have heard that before, that story.
No, not actually.
Panchatantra.
Mm.
Srila Prabhupada told that story. So there's other examples of, the example of Yadu Maharaj. He was one of the sons of Yayati. Yayati had different sons. And Yayati was, he had two wives. Devayani was his wife she was a Brahmani, and Sharmishta was a wife in a Kshatriya line. So he married Sharmishta secretly, but later he begat a child in Sharmishta, so they couldn't hide that. So when Devayani, his first wife, found out, she became angry and ran to her father, who was Shukracharya, and complained that her husband has been, dalliancing with this other woman who was actually her rival before. She was the one who threw Devayani down a well when they had a fight. So they had some history before. So then Shukracharya, very powerful Brahmin, he cursed Yayati, King Yayati, to lose his youth, to become old. So Yayati was, of course, devastated, and not only Yayati, but also Devayani was. So how can I be happy if my husband's an old guy, old man? So he said, all right, you can transfer that curse to one of your sons. You know that?
Mhm.
Yeah, ninth canto. So Yayati, he agreed. He asked various sons, different sons. Most of the sons rejected it, and he cursed them to leave. And so some of those sons went to west and became kings in Turkey or Greece and others. But Yadu rejected his request. But the reason for his rejecting of the request was, he said, if I renounce the material world as an old man prematurely, I won't be developed in Krishna consciousness, and the goal of life is to be Krishna conscious. I won't be, so it'll mess up my spiritual advancement. And so that's a valid reason, good reason. And because that's one of the reasons why Lord Krishna appeared in the Yadu dynasty, because he saw, even, you're supposed to follow the family dharma is follow the order of your father, right? That's the family, do what he says. But he didn't, he rejected. But why? For the purpose of Krishna consciousness, for his spiritual advancement. So Krishna appeared in his dynasty. There's many examples. Brahma had 4 mental sons, the 4 Kumaras, and he said, well, okay, procreate. They said, I'm sorry, father, no, we'd like to stay as young boys so that we can practice spiritual life. Bali Maharaj, you're supposed to follow the order of the spiritual master. The spiritual master is the active principle in spiritual life. But when the spiritual master told him not to give to Vishnu, he rejected it. Because service to Vishnu, service to Krishna, is the highest dharma. It's the perfect dharma. Yudhishthira Maharaj, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, his chariot was always a few inches above the ground, because he was known as Dharmaraj, is the rigid upholding of Dharma. But after the battle, it said that his chariot sank to the ground. And why is that? Some people say it's because he told a lie when Dronacharya was wreaking havoc against the Pandava warriors. Krishna encouraged him to say that his son Ashwatthama had been killed in the battle, and thus he would be disheartened and be able to be defeated. So some people say that's the cause of Yudhishthira Maharaj's chariot going down to earth. But the acharyas say differently. What do they say? You know?
What I know is what you said, actually. Somebody that told us said the same thing.
Well, that's
But
that
I don't know.
the version of the acharyas, including Srila Prabhupada, is that no, the reason his chariot went to the earth is because he hesitated to follow the instruction of Krishna. He
Uh,
had he thought ordinary dharma was more important than following Krishna's instructions. Krishna's, what is dharma? Dharma to sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Dharma means follow the direct instruction of Krishna. Krishna is there before him, telling him to do. He thought a better dharma is no, I want to be a truthful man. So that was a mistake on his part. Lord Chaitanya, he had a servant who was supposed to massage, and he had to step over Lord Chaitanya, who was sleeping, to do the massage, but afterwards he didn't step back over. For service, to do the service of Lord Chaitanya, he could step over, which is considered an offense. Step over somebody with your feet. But for his own purpose, to go have his meals, he didn't do that. That was not service, for at least at that time. So anyway, there are many examples like this, and the prime examples are the gopis, and Srimati Radharani being the prime example, because they gave up. They're living in a small town. In a small town, everybody knows what's going on. There's always gossip here and there, isn't it? I mean, in that sense, ISKCON is kind of a small town also. Everybody knows what's going on. But so they left their houses in the middle of the night to be with Krishna. They were not married to Krishna at that time, but at least not technically. So their husbands were there, their children were there, their father, if they were unmarried, their parents were there, but still, and they tried to stop them, but still they went to because their intense desire was to satisfy and serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In ISKCON, we know that many devotees, it was not kosher for them to leave, their family situation or college or whatever it might be to join the Hare Krishna movement, isn't it? Even such an exalted person as Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who recently passed away. I was reading letters that he exchanged with Srila Prabhupada, and apparently when Srila Prabhupada was about to initiate Gopal Krishna Maharaj, at that time his given name was Gopal Krishna Kanna. So just as his Gopal Krishna Kanna informed his father, and his father sent a telegram to Srila Prabhupada saying, "Please don't initiate my son. It will ruin our family." Did you know this? Please don't. You can read the letter. It's there in the database. So please don't initiate my son. It will ruin our family. That was the letter, telegram. So Srila Prabhupada sent him a letter back. He said, "You can rest assured, without your permission, I won't initiate your son." But then he got another letter from Gopal Krishna Maharaj a few days later saying that, "Oh, I've convinced my father, it's okay." So Srila Prabhupada initiated him. He also wrote a letter to Gopal Krishna Maharaj, says, "You're an adult. How is it that your father has such influence like that?" But anyway, so finally it happened. But even in his case, such an exalted personality, when he wanted to take initiation, there were some impediments by the family. Sarva dharman parityajya, but he worked his way around it. The highest goal was to surrender to Krishna, which for us means to surrender to his representative. So we had two symptoms of surrender: accept everything beneficial for devotional service, as example of accepting initiation from a bona fide spiritual master, rejecting detrimental things, then always feel oneself under Krishna's protection, and understanding that one is being maintained by Krishna. It's not your boss maintaining you, being maintained by Krishna. Then there's another one is feeling as always a surrendered soul. It seems like it's double speak because it's six symptoms of surrender, and one of them is to feel always surrendered. But then the last one is always feel oneself meek and humble. Why meek and humble? Well, because we are just a small, we can be carried away at any minute, but we're at the mercy of Krishna, his protection, his maintenance. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya, his prayer say, Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram, Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavambudo, Kripaya, Tavapada Pankaja, Stita Duli Sadrisham Vichintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servitor. And although I am so, I have fallen. We have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. You pick me up, please. Pick me up by your mercy. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and fix me as one little atom. We're very tiny at your lotus feet. Oh, Chaitanya prays like that. So those are the 6 symptoms of surrender. And they were perfectly exhibited by great devotees and topmost devotees in this example, like Srimati Radharani and the gopis. Comments, questions, clarifications? We
Prabhu,
can do it. It's our natural position. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu, for such a nice class, and especially a lot of food for thought. Prabhu, we hear so much about, being careful of our association, not taking but giving. And then, then the question comes up, but there's a fine line because they get, one can get swept in so easily in taking rather than giving. So how can a devotee, Prabhu, actually learn the aspect or understand the point of giving the association? Like, what can they do? Because one might feel, I don't know what I have to do or what I have to give, because this is what, this is what happens in the office. So how can one give, Prabhu?
Well, I know you're giving your association here today by regularly attending the Srimad Bhagavatam class or Chaitanya Charitamrita class. That's our life. So that association will give us inspiration to give other association, to give our association. And, our small ways might be give some prasadam, invite them to I think you might be having some kind of festival in Terrisburg in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or something. Is that right?
Yes, Prabhu, and you are invited to be part of it, please.
What is that for a festival you're having?
Rath Yatra.
Okay. So yeah, so giving an invitation, hearing I sent you those songs by Mangalananda Prabhu.
Yes.
Somebody could be turned on by those. I like especially O Govinda, and so the different ways. In those also the chanting of a Hare Krishna mantra or other ways. Yeah. So that's everybody, how you can approach somebody who may not be interested at all. It's different according to their
Because
character
Prabhu,
and
sometimes I'm sorry.
that's all
Because
right.
Prabhu, sometimes I come across situations where devotees, ask me questions like, but I'm working, but I gotta do this, but my family ties, but my this ties, and they feel, sometimes that they feel compelled that they have to go for these family gatherings, this party, that party, knowing that it's not what they like, but they just don't know how to handle it. And then they come and ask me these questions like, how do I deal with this? Like, how do I, say no? Or even if I go, how do I protect myself from not being pulled in? Like, I get these questions a lot, Prabhu.
Well, I don't know the specifics of why a person doesn't want to go to a family gathering. It might be because they're serving non-vegetarian foods, or it might
Yes.
be become so, depending on the circumstances, one, if there's a possibility that they don't have to go, then one could practice with them saying no. How would it be if you said no? What will be the consequences, and what are you worried about? That's something like you would do in a therapy situation. It's okay. Well, here's your relative sitting on the chair, and let's see what would it be to say no? Can you say no? And what would be the consequences? They'd think through it. Or, I mean, I deal with that. Nobody in my family is a vegetarian, but if I go, I insist, okay, I'm doing all the cooking. That's it. They know. They're not gonna, it's just the way it is. Nothing. Nothing's gonna happen. But, and and you have your siblings and you have your older siblings, and your older siblings, they don't want to take anything from you. Okay. Usually in this country, nobody likes to cook so much anyway, isn't it? So they're a little bit happy that somebody else will do that. But that's the requirement. At least that's what I do. And of course, with Indian families, it might be a little different. And they're going to want to put garlic and onions all the time, isn't it? All the time, because there's no taste unless there's garlic and onions. But if you do the cooking, you have some leeway more. And of course, you know, uh, I was invited to do a wedding, old time, because I taught the Sunday school in Philadelphia for, I don't know, 15 years or something. So one of the students I had, uh, you know, she asked me if I could do her wedding. Now she's grown up, if she could do the wedding. Okay, I said, sure, sure. So they flew me down to South Carolina to do the wedding. So I did the wedding. But afterwards they had a reception. And then the reception, what did they serve? Both. And I mean, they had both, but they also had, you got to have drinks, right? You got to have drinks. That's the thing. So I just didn't go. I just said, I'm sorry, I'm just not going. And I didn't go. Why should I go? It's a waste of time. They may not have liked it, but what am I don't want to support that stuff. Yes, so okay. Uh, I just it's we're not need to rub elbows at cocktail parties. That's not what we do. When Srila Prabhupada was there's one instance where I was walking in Europe someplace, and along I think it was in Paris, and they're walking, and of course in Paris they're famous to have cafes or cafe. So and sometimes in the cafes they have, of course, in this country too, tables and chairs seated outside, in the nice weather. So they're walking a morning walk, and so a devotee asked, "Hey, would you like to sit down for a minute?" Because maybe he thought Prabhupada was a little tired or something. So Prabhupada reacted. He said, "Oh, you want me to sit in the cafe?" I was not sitting in the cafe. No, no. He said, "What do you think of your spiritual master?" Well, anyway, this is according to your determination and realization. It's okay. I don't know. That's some ways.
Prabhu, I think I mean, not I think you concluded perfectly. It's our determination, how much we want that that part of the life to be ours, and learn to say no or not be involved in it. Because I think sometimes we come across the situation where we feel like, we have the choice, as you said, as a therapy thing, right? We have the choice to say no, but we choose not to, probably because of so many other reasons. And and shows how strong is our determination. Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, my family still criticizes me. Like I found my I found my when I went to graduate school in psychology, we had to do a research on our family background. So I found an old great aunt that nobody ever knew living in Canada. It was my father's aunt. And so we decided to go visit her. And he told her we were, he told, I told her that I was a vegetarian, blah, 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 but she cooked for us, this aunt. And, but one of the things she made had eggs in it. And I said, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. And my father became very angry. So he's very angry because I said, "Oh, you should." She went to the trouble of doing it. You should have, should have bent your principles because she's an old lady. Should have appreciated. Blah blah blah. Well, no, I'm not. I'm not sorry. Sorry, I can't have that. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Some things you don't want to bend.
I know devotees have expressed all kinds of concerns, especially when we have to go to family gatherings and so on, and when they know that it's going to be meat and fish and those things, and they have. I remember in Girinadi, there were quite a few devotees when I was living there that expressed that to like get them to some of the darshans, how to deal with family. So it's nice hearing, how you put your foot down about what to do and what not to do. But I was wondering, when
when you eat your food, don't you have choice of what you like to eat and what you don't? Of course you do.
Absolutely.
Of course you do. So what, somebody says, I don't want that. Okay, fine. No big deal. Why are they making so much pressure on you? It's because they're feeling. Go ahead. I interrupted.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, it's good to actually even let me know more about what you think about this. I remember one situation that I was just been hired for 1 year temporary teaching situation, not far from Gideonage. It was about, Gideonage is in the middle of nowhere, and people think so. It's about an hour away in the same general area. And the faculty, the members, had a meeting, actually a nice social gathering before the semester began. And it was at the house of the head of the chemistry department, because that was the department I was going to teach at. And so Ansi cooked, and I took Prashadam there because I was determined whatever they had there, first of all, it's not offered, so I'm not going to eat it. So she cooked, and I took the preps there, and it was everything. There was rice, there was subji, if I remember correctly. And the head of the department was watching me. I didn't realize he was watching me because all I did was take the prashadam. And then he says, Patrick is taking only what his wife cooked, nothing, nothing else.
Yes.
So that didn't change my mind. That's what I did. That's what I took.
I have a very strict diet. I got a strict diet, because whether it's for health reasons or other reasons, people have all kinds of dietary restrictions for a variety of reasons. Nothing wrong with that. What are you going to do? So for Krishna, or for your health, you cannot eat this or that. But for Krishna, certainly you cannot eat this, and that. So no big. Anyway, it's just practice that, and being stronger is possible.
Prabhu, I have a question how can devotees, and some of us, well, I come from a Christian background, that's a different story, but I do also get these questions from devotees who come from families who do demigod worshiping, and they want to pursue, they want to become Krishna conscious, but family members pull them back to attend this kind of worship and that kind of worship. So how can a devotee, Prabhu, really handle such situations? Like if they're compelled to go, but then, how do they behave? What should they do? Like, how can they handle such situations in that kind of a family gathering that involves demigod worshiping?
Well, Lord Chaitanya respected the demigods. He didn't worship them, though. In the Ramanuja Sampradaya, also known as the Sri Sampradaya, which is predominantly in southern India, when Lord Chaitanya was traveling in southern India, they were surprised that Lord Chaitanya would go to the demigod temples. And he offered obeisances, but he didn't he chanted when he did Sankirtan, he didn't chant, Shiva or Durga, he chanted Hare Krishna. But the Ramanuja Sampradaya people at the time were surprised because here's a Vaishnava, he's going to the demigod temples. That's interesting, isn't it? Because when you're dealing really with the Ramanuja Sampradaya, there was a Ramanuja sannyasi who used to come to the temple in New Jersey when I was the temple president there. His name was Dr. Venkat. Now, he hadn't taken sannyas, now he took sannyas. It's from the Ramanuja Sampradaya. But anyway, so he came and we were discussing. He was a very learned person. So we were discussing, he said, there's one difference between the Gaudiya Sampradaya and the Sri Sampradaya. I said, oh yeah, what is that one difference? He said, in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, you're allowed to worship demigods, but in the Sri Sampradaya, it's not allowed. That's what he said. So I said, how's that? How's that? He said, so he was learned. He quoted, he said, in Gaudiya Sampradaya, we recognize that the gopis worshipped Katyayani to get Krishna as their husband. So that was allowed. You follow? It's a special case. It's a special case. And but if you actually read the commentaries, they were really worshiping Yoga Maya, not Katyayani. But anyway, the point is Katyayani is demigod. But they worship for the purpose of serving Krishna. They were worshipped. But he was saying in the Sri Sampradaya, it's not at all allowed. The Ramanuja Sampradaya, not allowed to worship the demigods. Oh, okay. So Lord Chaitanya would go, but he would offer respect, but he would not, chant their names and worship. Example of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was asked to do a lecture. Giriraj Swami tells this story. He was asked to do a lecture on Shiva Linga. On Shiva Ratri. Sorry, Shiva Ratri. So he gave the lecture. There was a kirtan, and after the kirtan, there was a gathering outside. They had a Shiva Linga in the courtyard, and everybody was offering water and flowers to the Shiva Linga. And so Giriraj Swami said he was watching carefully to see what Srila Prabhupada would do in that circumstance. You know what he did? You remember this? No.
Please tell it.
Yeah, according to Giriraj Swami, Srila Prabhupada, he took the flower, and there happened to be a picture on the side, a picture of Krishna on the side, somewhere on the side, away. And Prabhupada went over to the picture of Krishna and offered the flower. That was what he did. So he didn't give the offering to Shiva Linga. Okay, no worship of So I know in even in various parts of ISKCON now, it's done that they worship Lord Shiva on Shivaratri. I don't know that Srila Prabhupada. I don't know if that's ever been done by Srila Prabhupada or other or Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I've never heard that it was during Prabhupada's time. We did not worship or have special festivals on Shivaratri. It's not that you can't do it, but we didn't do it. And my godbrother, Lakshmi Nrsimha Prabhu, Lakshmi Nrsimha Prabhu? So he was the the temple president in Puerto Rico in 1977. So he went to visit Srila Prabhupada before Prabhupada's disappearance. It was in October. Prabhupada disappeared in November of 1977. And he was given the service of doing kirtan for Srila Prabhupada in his room, like 12 midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning. So he was chanting. They had these small little kartals, not big wampers, but small little kartals. And he was chanting Hare Krishna. And then he decided, and Prabhupada was resting. He thought he was asleep. So he was chanting softly Hare Krishna. Then all of a sudden he got it in his mind, Brahma bole chaturmukhe Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Mahadeva Panchamukhe Rama Rama Hare Hare. You ever heard that chant? Brahma bole. Anyway, it was a little popular at one point. So as soon as he began chanting, even though Srila Prabhupada immediately raised his hand. Stop, stop, stop. He went back to chanting Hare Krishna. So even that small entrance into the worship or chanting of the names of Brahma or Lord Shiva, even though you mix it with Krishna, Prabhupada stopped at that. That was very interesting.
Mm. Mm.
I don't know if that's of any help.
Oh, it's good to hear the pastimes like that. We know Srila Prabhupada's thought. That many of us attached to reading his Lila Mita, all of these add to it. They once studied not in the book, but then we hear from Srila Prabhupada disciples like us all. Hare Krishna. Very much like to.
That's a very those kind of activities are. So at that time, Lakshmi Nrsimha Prabhu, he invited Srila Prabhupada to come to Puerto Rico because he was the temple president there.
Mm.
So so they discussed a little bit, and so he described that in Prabhupada thought it was like an Eastern or East Coast or Caribbean Hawaii. He called it your Caribbean Hawaii, Puerto Rico. So then he said he will surely go there. He will surely go to that. He will surely go. And then a few weeks later he passed away. So then, even though he promised to come, so then a short time after that, Lakshmi Nrsimha got a call from a devotee on the West Coast. During Prabhupada's time on the planet, he didn't. There was only 2 instances where there was a deity of Srila Prabhupada was allowed. They made the deity of Srila Prabhupada at the Vrindavan temple, and there was one sannyasi who was having a lot of trouble. So he asked Srila Prabhupada if he could make a special exception and have a deity made of him, of Srila Prabhupada, that he could do personal worship for, to stay, inspired in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada gave permission for that. But anyway, shortly after Prabhupada left, that sannyasi wasn't keeping his vows and was neglecting the deity. So shortly after Prabhupada left, Lakshmi Nrsimha got a call from a devotee there on the West Coast saying, there's this deity of Srila Prabhupada. Would you like it for the Puerto Rico temple? So he said, yes. So Srila Prabhupada came in his deity form, just as he promised. You follow?
Yeah.
So that's the Srila Prabhupada deity there in Puerto Rico on the altar, small deity. That's Srila Prabhupada personally said he would come, and so he came. Anyway.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Okay. Are there any last questions, realizations that the devotees want to talk about? You can unmute yourself now. If not, then Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very, very much.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you for a beautiful class, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
This is Independence Day. This is Independence Day.
Yeah.
We are never going to be independent of Krishna or the spiritual master, Guru Srila Prabhupada. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. And Prabhu, please come for Rath Yatra. Prabhu, we're really hoping that you will come.
Yeah, you invited Balabhadra, right? But he said no, right?
He's in Atlanta.
Well, he's coming, I think, the week before.
Oh.
But I think he has some business or something. He has all these programs going on in Atlanta.
Let me see if he can extend his stay.
What Jagannath deity are you? Because you used to get Jagannath from
Maheshwar Prabhu. Now Prabhu is coming from Baltimore Temple.
The temple there.
Yes. They have their own Lord Jagannath in the temple.
Yes. So will you be offering the bhoga to Lord Jagannath?
Yes, you mean for before we pull the cart, Prabhu? Yes, we normally.
No, the feast.
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
Because it's cooked at the Baltimore temple, the feast.
oh, the feast is cooked in Baltimore.
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Who does that?
Siddha Swarup Prabhu?
Oh, what do? So they do the cooking.
Yes,
But
I send all the boga and they do the cooking, Prabhu. And they
oh,
offer it at that temple.
okay,
Yes.
and you give them a donation.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. All right. Do you have some control over it?
Control meaning.
And how
Well,
they
we
cook
get the
it?
boga. So
Oh yeah,
he's
I just give them the boga and the preps and we decide on the preps and then I send everything and they do the cut up and they do the cooking and then it comes back with two devotees already offered to the temple and
Okay, so it's simple for you.
yeah, Prabhu.
yeah. Is it
Very
complicated?
simple for me. Very, very simple. Because we don't have devotees, especially the men, you know, we don't have male cooks that can cook in quantity like that. And Siddha Swarup, and also I think the Baltimore temple, they do catering there. So Siddha Swarup Prabhu is one of the main cooks over there. So he's very much used to the quantity and this and that. So it's so much more easy that I give the bhoga and he just takes all the cooking and handles it. He cooks all night
Yeah.
long.
I know
Yeah.
we know about cooking, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, what is you send me the menu when you get a chance. I want to take a look at it.
Sure, Prabhu, definitely.
Does he put chili in?
Not that much. He doesn't, I see that he doesn't put much chili, but he puts garam masala that I've seen.
Garam masala, different kinds of garam masala. Some has chili, some doesn't have chili. There's all different
Yeah.
kinds of garam masala. I mean, you may consider. I mean, so if you know, like Jagannath Puri and Dwarka, those temples, they don't use chili. You know, chili for some people it burns the insides of the stomach. You know, especially if the older people, blah blah blah. Not, it's okay for me, but so and kids. So sometimes for a public function, you may want to consider no chili whatsoever. But you know, black pepper doesn't do that. White pepper doesn't do that. Ginger doesn't do that. But then you're going to have complaints from the Indian community that hey, there's no taste because there's no chili. So then you would provide some kind of pickle, you know, that with you know if they the optional pickle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Bro, you just
Yeah.
gave me an idea. Cool. Pickle. Okay, got it. You just gave
Yeah,
me
I mean, you could. Srila Prabhupada used to use Bedakar pickle, Bedakar, but there are so many different kinds that don't have garlic. You know, a lot of pickles will have garlic or onions, but you know, pickle. You can also make pickle with, you know, you use fresh turmeric and oil and lemon juice and some spices you put in. You know, just
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that brand in this Indian store here, Bedakar brand. I've seen that. No
okay.
onion, no garlic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. That's an idea, pickle. I was thinking, thank you so much, Prabhu. You just gave me an idea.
Are you going to be in any paneer?
Yes, there is a
Yes.
paneer sabji. Yes.
What is the paneer sabji?
I'm gonna pull up. Oh, yeah, paneer with bell peppers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what it is. I think
Is
it's like sweet sour. I have to check the menu again. We do the same thing every year, and I always forget what it is. I just know that there's rice and there's chole. That much I know. I always forget what is in the sabji.
okay.
Yes, Ruby. But I'll send it to you by
What sweet is there?
that mango halva.
That's your thing, yeah, mango halwa.
Yeah.
With canned mangoes?
Yes, Prabhu. The unsweetened ones.
Canned mangoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll send you the menu, Prabhu, as you
Sure, thank you.
by email. I'll do that. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Panchakaptara Kripa
Jai-
Sindhibhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai. So the devotees have a wonderful, wonderful break. You got a break this time. Was to do that work. We're able to come on today. So I think there's going to be some Hainam too.
We are still planning the time. Let's see how it works, and then
Mm.
we'll let the devotees know.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.